All right, we are now live. Hey players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, I'm going to be sharing 5 mistakes that you probably make that are getting you in the friend zone. I want to walk you guys through some of the things that you might be overlooking. You might not even think are mistakes, but when you kind of view them from a larger scale, realize, oh yeah, actually that's pushing my crush away. Oh yeah, that's actually making it harder for my crush to connect with me, or harder for me to move on if they don't like me. I want you guys to stop doing these things, so I'm going to walk you through them one by one so that you can kind of get closer to your crush and feel more confident in who you are. Now, before I get into those points, I do want to say a few things here. If you're someone that's watching the live stream right now, hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already, guys. It does a whole lot to help boost this stream out into the wild, wild world out there. Also, for all the early birds here, these are the people that are jumping on the stream at the very, very beginning. Jump into the live stream right now. Jump into the chat. Say hi. I love giving shout outs to all the early birds. So if you want to get your shout out, just say hi in the chat. You'll get your shout out, guys. I'm going to walk you through some other things, but first, let's say hi to all the early birds in here. Let's see who we got here. Cheesy, always a pleasure to have you, man. Music Man is in here. Mr. Savage. Nodar, I always forget it. I always say it wrong. NO3DR. Giovanni Bargett. Mohammed Salah Krush. Clickfire's in here. Haley Davidson, good to see you, Haley. I do have an AC unit, but it's a pretty funny story. Yancy Cobian, Shireen is in here. Dono the Gamer, Dono, pleasure to have you, man. I see you posted the water. I got my own here. Let's see, Synchro Legend, Yancy Cobian. Well, you guys are typing too fast. I can't even catch up. Jalen Richardson, Trinity the Monkey, Alex Burns, Rylan Kogan, Noah, good to have you, man. Youssef is in here. Adam Bodner, Kano, Trinity the Monkey, David Eo Studio, Jalen's in here. Good to see you, Jalen. Ellie is in here. Let's see, Robbie Shanklin Jr., good to have you, Robbie. Hunter James is in here. Ellie Oof is in here as well. ZD Productions, I'm Cecil Waywaru is in here as well. Who else? Who we got? Cheyenne Hall. Follow Elise is in here. Azim the Dream, good to have you, Azim. Let's see, who did I not say? JRV Poopy. JRV Poopy is in the house, guys. JRV Poopy. Hamish is in here. Happy to have you, Hamish. Rage Master as well. Julio Enrique. All of you guys, thank you guys so much for being a part of the live stream. I wasn't around last week, as some of you know. Some of you that don't know, last week I celebrated the 3-year wedding anniversary of me and my wife. We've been married for 3 years. We've been together for 8 years. So it's really cool to kind of hit that milestone. I've done videos in the past. If you want, you check it out on my channel where I have her on and we kind of do a Q&A, and also a video where I talk about my wedding story. Now, before I get into these points, I want to say a few things, guys. Like I said, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up button on this live stream, guys. It does a whole lot to boost the live stream. Also, as I walk through these points, if you have a burning question, this is something that is on your mind that you need to ask me, you need to get my answer for right now, feel free to use the super chat function. Donate $1, $5, or whatever it is. It'll put the message front and center in front of my face. I will stop whatever I'm talking about. I will answer your questions. Guys, you have me right here, right now. This is the perfect opportunity to ask your question and get a direct answer from me. I know I don't always get around to answering DMs and stuff, so this is your opportunity right here, right now. Thank you guys for all the congratulations on the anniversary. It really does mean a lot to me. I want to walk you through these points here. Before I do that, Haley brought up that we have an AC here in the room. Now, here is the challenge. The AC is incredibly noisy, like super, super noisy. So I have to turn it on like 20 minutes before I'm going to do whatever I want to kind of cool the room down a little bit. I didn't turn it on 20 minutes before I did this live stream. So the door is closed, the window's closed. So it is just as hot as it's always been during all my live streams here. This is the life. Anyway. Let's get back to the friend zone point, guys, here, because this is going to be interesting. Let's just jump right into the first point here, and we'll take it from there. We'll see where it goes. Guys, point number 1. This is the first mistake I see a lot of people make whenever they're around their crush. And the reason why they get friend zoned is right here. They act too reserved around them. Whenever you're around your crush, you hold your feelings back. You don't say really what you want to say. You're afraid to kind of speak up and make a joke or compliment them or do something that you feel is going to kind of get them to view you in a different light. You know, it's going to rock the boat in some way. It's going to make them feel like, oh, is this person, you know, like, do they like me? Do they not like me? You're kind of throwing caution into the wind. And when you do that, you know, your crush might view you differently. So a lot of guys and a lot of girls too have this fear of actually, you know, kind of putting themselves out there. So they just pull back and act more reserved because it's an easy way for them to kind of just not change the setting. As long as I don't do anything drastic or say anything drastic, my crush will talk to me. They may want to hang out with me. So nothing really changes. Hang on. Let me open up the window here. All right, we're back in business. So, guys, that's the first point there. You act too reserved around your crush. And I've seen so many guys do this, and I've seen so many people kind of struggle with saying, hey, I'm afraid to talk to my crush. I'm afraid to smile at them. I'm afraid to walk up to them and say hi. I think that when you act too reserved, it doesn't give your crush the opportunity to see you as someone that they may potentially want to date, right? There's always this fear of like, well, how do I get them to like me without doing anything, without saying anything, and without it potentially ruining or changing the dynamic that we have? And it's like, well, what do you expect to happen, right? You have to kind of do something in order to kind of change the flow of things. Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is that if you're incredibly reserved around your crush is never going to feel like, well, this is a person who likes me. This is a person I want to get to know. Instead, they're just going to think, okay, well, that's a person who's a classmate or a person who I know from the neighborhood or a person who's part of my group of friends. That's really all they are, right? They never really do anything to show otherwise. So I'm going to kind of mentally put them in this friend zone category. So by being inactive and being too reserved there, you kind of end up friend zoning yourself. And this is a mistake I see a lot of guys make. Now, I want to jump into a chat poll here because I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to get your perspectives on this. Do you guys make this mistake? Everyone here in the chat, I want every single person in the chat to answer yes or no. Do you act too reserved around the person that you like? Look, it could even be a boyfriend or girlfriend in this case, right? That maybe you're too shy or nervous around them. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you feel like you act too reserved around that person that you like? I know that back when I was in high school and even college, there were girls that I liked that I was so incredibly nervous around, that I was so reserved that how could they see me as anything other than just a friend? I never really made that intention known. I never really even tried to make that intention known. So, I ended up kind of by default friend zoning myself by being inactive, by not really doing anything to potentially change that dynamic. Now, I want to hear what you guys have to say here. I asked you guys, do you feel reserved around the person that you like? And here's what you guys had to say. Judah says yes. Nodar, how do I pronounce that? NO3DR. What is the best way to pronounce your username? Said, I don't know. Trinity the Monkey said yes, only at first. Yeah, sometimes it happens in the beginning and then you start to develop comfort going on. Mason says, Nagy, stop timing me out back to back to back. Joseph Shore says, honestly, yeah. Jack Stevenson says yes. Muhammad says yes, and I regret it. Julio says yes. Hamish says yes. Jalen says no. So Jalen doesn't feel too reserved or nervous around his crush. Follow Elise says yes. PJ says yes. Mr. Savage, yes. Yes. Oh, yes, I guess. Eliuv says, not really, but a bit. Please see this. LMAO. LMAO to you too. We just got a super chat from Azim the Dream here. Thank you so much, Azim, for the $5 super chat. Azim said, I feel like it's hard to balance between being reserved to build up a friendship and being pressured to reveal feelings early to avoid the friend zone. Azim, that is a very, very good question. I think what ends up happening is that you kind of end up in this situation where if you confess your feelings too early on, then you might push this person away. They don't really know you that well. They don't know how they even feel about you yet, right? This is something I want a lot of people to realize. Just because you really like someone doesn't mean that the other person's going to have strong feelings right from the get-go. It might take them time to develop those strong feelings. So if you kind of come on too strong, they may feel like, whoa, I don't really know how I feel about you yet. I need time. So to Azim's point, it's hard to find that balance between when to kind of move towards being more than friends and when to kind of just build up a friendship first. I think that what I want to try to do, I'm going to create a chart to kind of show that, just like I did with the texting chart, I want to create kind of a friend zone chart. I think a big part of it is that where you can start moving towards, I think, revealing feelings, I would say is this, that if you're talking to this person and you're asking them to hang out one-on-one, to me, if a person agrees to hang out with you one-on-one, that means, at least in my book, that they're showing some kind of interest in getting to know you on a personal, deeper level, right? Now, if it's with a group of friends, like let's say you're getting a bunch of people together bowling or movies or something like that, I wouldn't take that as, oh, they really like me on a personal level. I would take it as we're just doing a social group thing to get to know each other. But if you say, hey, let's go get something to eat, let's go get ice cream, let's go for a walk, whatever it may be, and they say, yeah, I'm down for that, then that means that they want to get to know you on a personal level. All you guys really are going to have is each other in that date and that experience. So that's an opportunity to start putting it out there and to start trying to reveal a bit of those feelings. And I think a good way to start revealing a bit of those feelings is you might want to kind of compliment them. Say, hey, you look really cute today. You might want to kind of, potentially maybe put your arm around them or go to grab their hand as you walk. Or if you feel like things are getting, spicing up and getting closer, you might even want to go in for a kiss. I think ultimately it kind of starts with them wanting to hang out with you one-on-one. Now, that doesn't mean that they are romantically interested in you. It just means they are interested in getting to know you better. And to me, that's the first step in trying to figure out whether it's friendship or friend zone. I also did a video on the difference between those two, so I would definitely check it out. But Azim, that is a really, really good question. It is hard to walk that balance there. And guys, and I think that a lot of people really struggle with that, figuring out that balance and making that first mistake, which is, like I said, just being too reserved, being too shy, being too afraid to rock the boat, to change things, right? We're so afraid of change between us and our crush. We think, hey, you know what? If we're in a safe place where they look at me, they acknowledge me, they respond to my text messages once in a while, we think, okay, this is good. I'm just going to stay in this place, for as long as I can. But the problem is the longer you stay in there, the more you actually hurt your chances. Guys, I don't want you guys to end up in the friend zone here, especially if you like someone, you want to build something with them. I want you to work on building up that courage and confidence to actually approach them and to kind of get closer to them. So I'm going to jump in and answer a few of your questions. I want to see what some of you guys are saying here in the chat here. See, Clickfire says, we're basically already are dating, but she doesn't want to put a label on it, although we both really like each other, but neither really want a serious relationship. Yeah, Clickfire, look, sometimes people don't want to put labels on things because it invites drama and questions from people around, and sometimes they just want to kind of keep it casual because once you kind of commit to a relationship, there's a bit of pressure that comes with that. There's the pressure of like, we should be talking every so often. We should maybe be getting each other birthday or anniversary gifts, or, there's all this kind of relationship type of things that happen. So by not labeling it and just, hey, we can hang out whenever we want to hang out. We can spend time together. It's very casual and open. That relieves a lot of that pressure. I think that sometimes that's the reason why a person may not want to put the label on it. And plus, they may just not really want to be in a relationship as where they are in their life right now. Mason said, Josh, you are awesome. Mason, you are awesome. Cheers. Let's see. Let's answer a few more questions, then we're going to jump into point number 2 here, guys. Judah Ronda says, okay, so I still have a crush on this girl in my old school named Paloma for like the past 2.5 years or something like that. But I know that she thinks of me as a friend just because she told me herself. Yeah, so if you've known this girl for 2.5 years and you feel like she thinks of you as a friend because she's kind of outright told you, you're going to want to hear the points that I'm going to make a little bit later on, which is going to kind of help pull you out of that position there. I think a lot of people fall into this where they've known someone for a while and they feel like by default they kind of are in the friend zone. So I want to help you get a default stage of just being in the friend zone because you've known them for a long time. Hamish, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Hamish, I really appreciate it. Hamish said, I need to get back on the dating sites. I want to love someone. Hamish, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of care. You are an awesome person, Hamish, inside and out. I think that you bring a lot to the table. You're a very creative person. You're very adventurous. You're very kind as well. And I think that ultimately, the best thing to do, Hamish, is to kind of set a goal for yourself where you tell yourself, even put it on your calendar. Say, you know what? I'm going to go through 10 dating profiles today. And of those 10, I'm going to message 1 or 2 people. Like, set that goal daily for yourself, right? So you can kind of stay on top of it, because a lot of times people want to find love, they want to find a partner, they want to kind of move forward in the relationship aspect of their life, but they get so bogged down with everything else that it falls to the back end, and then a month passes by or more. A month passes by or more, and they realize, whoa, I haven't really done anything to improve that area of my life. So Hamish, set a goal for yourself. Like I said, look at 10 different profiles a day, and then message 1 or 2 people, I believe in you, Hamish. I know you can do it. Just put yourself out there. I think that's going to be the best way to start to get a feel for who are some of the people also on these dating sites as well. Thank you again for the £2 super chat, Hamish. I truly, truly appreciate it. One thing I want to shout out here, guys, is that sometimes one of the challenges behind, people's kind of confidence not being where it is because they are too reserved and they don't really know what to talk about. So for those of you guys that don't know about it, I want to share this. These are my 20 icebreaker conversations. Was it this way? Yes. I always forget which way to point. These are my 20 icebreaker conversation starters. It's a free guide I've put together with 20 different conversation topics that you can use when talking to your crush. If you ever run out of things to say, you just don't know how to carry the conversation or just interesting things to talk about, this guide is going to be the perfect thing for you to check out. Just go to thejoshspeaks.com/ice-breakers. And like I said, it's 20 questions. And in each question, I kind of break down even more follow-up questions and how to go deeper into those questions, deeper into their answers. So check it out, guys. I think it'll be super helpful. Chandler, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Chandler says, how can I from overthinking when texting my crush? Chandler, that's a really good question. I think the reason why you might be overthinking when you're texting your crush is because you want your message to be perfect, right? You want to say something that you think is just going to sweep her off of her feet, make her so interested in wanting to talk to you. And what ends up happening is that you become so focused on trying to say the perfect thing that you're not saying something that you genuinely care about. I think this is one of the major problems a lot of people have. I think conversations with your crush would be so much easier if you just asked your crush questions about things you were genuinely interested in. Here's an example. Let's say you heard about a new TV show that came out on Netflix, right? You heard your friends talking about it. Maybe you saw an ad for it on YouTube or something, whatever. You heard about this show. You might want to text your crush, hey, have you heard of this show? Do you know if it's any good to watch? Like, you're taking something maybe that you're genuinely interested in and you're turning it into a conversation topic with your crush. I think that you can apply that to new books that come out, new movies. You can apply that to whether or not you should download an application. You can apply it to what is a good college or good major to study in college. Think about the different things that are happening in your life and then turn those into questions, so you can get her opinion and her perspective on it. And then I think once she gives her answer, right, once she kind of shares, oh, I think it's good, or maybe you should check this out, you can go deeper into it. That's what I'm saying. It's all about going deeper into those questions when the person's sharing answers with you. So I think the way to stop overthinking it is to stop thinking of the perfect thing to say. Check on my icebreakers. I think those would be just good, fun questions to work into a conversation. But also try to just think about what's relevant to your life and then work that into conversation. I guarantee that if you ask questions about things that you genuinely care about, you'll get more authentic responses from your crush and you'll be more enthusiastic and engaged in those conversations. Thank you again for the $5 super chat, Chandler. I hope that answer was helpful. I have a lot of videos that I think can also help you work through overthinking, so I would definitely check those out. I'm going to jump into point number 2 here, but let's see. Rage Master said, I don't want a funeral. I want a wedding. Josh is so lucky. He's married. He's found his true love. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much, Rage Master. I think when it comes to finding love, we kind of have this idea that like one day we'll find the one, right? And I don't really think it works like that. I think what ends up happening is that as you move through life, as you start to discover who you are, you start to understand yourself better, you start to love yourself more. You start to encounter people that either are on that path or not on that path. And the ones who are in that path that you're attracted to, that you like, that you think are fun and interesting, you'll develop a closer bond with. And the more you develop that bond, the more you'll want to say, hey, this is the type of person that I can go through life with. And we're both on that path of growing and learning and helping each other and, improving and fixing and guiding each other in every which way. So that's, I think, the key to really finding a partner is not just hoping for this romanticized idea of just love as it is, but it's really finding someone that you can grow with. A lot of the research from the Gottman Institute. Gottman is someone who he's a research therapist that kind of really studies marriages and relationships and tries to understand the inner dynamics and workings of them. That's kind of the message and takeaway from a lot of the research. It's that the best partnerships, the best relationships are people that you feel understand you, people that care about you, they want to see you succeed, they make you laugh, you're attracted to them. All those different qualities pull into a good quality relationship. All right, let's jump into point number 2. Hey, Darkest Night, good to see you, man. Darkest Night said, it's over. I hate being ugly and short. Darkest Night, it ain't over till it's over, man. Every single day you are here is an opportunity to find different ways to kind of redirect your life and recenter yourself. I know that it's hard for you. I know that you struggle a lot. I know that you feel like the world is against you, but I was really enjoying our conversation, and I wanted to ask you more about, you said you're really into music and arts and you don't think you can get a job. There are a lot of jobs that you can get in music and art. If you want, like I said, you can always email me at thejoshspeaks@gmail.com, Darkest Night. I'd love to talk to you on a more personal level and really dive into like what your life is about, so I can maybe try to help you as best as I can. You said loving yourself doesn't matter if no one else loves you. Oh man, I think that's a bad way to look at it, man. If you don't love yourself, you're always going to doubt the validity of someone else loving you. Because if you don't believe that you're deserving of love, when someone comes along and says, I care about you, you're going to say that's not true. That's not real. It's fake. You're never going to believe it. So you need to start with self-love and realize I matter. I bring something to the table. Because when you can get to that point, when you realize that you're valuable just by being yourself, you can start to draw the curtain and realize, hey, other people can love me too. I didn't get the point 2 yet. Let's get to Josh's super chat. Josh, thank you so much for the where is it? Here we go. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Always a pleasure to have you, man. He said, hey, Josh, I've really enjoyed talking to you. I feel like my crush and I have really connected on our first one-on-one. I don't want to know what to do from here. Oh, I guess you want to know what to do from here. Guys, Josh is an awesome, awesome person. Me and him were talking about his first date with this girl. And, we kind of really discussed and figured out what's the best way to kind of go about it. I'm really happy that things worked out, man. I think just talking to you, our sense is really cool and relaxed to vibe, which I think is really awesome. I think that you have this kind of it factor, you're just an interesting person to talk to. And it seems to me like the girl that you were talking to also realizes that too, which is why she enjoys talking to you. So I'm super, super happy to have you as part of our community, part of this family, part of, my patron community, man. And I'll pull it up here just so that everyone can see. So Josh is a YouTube channel member, guys. By being a YouTube channel member and joining at the champion level membership, we can talk one-on-one every single month. This is something now I just scheduled out with a few different of my patrons and YouTube channel members. You can become either one, a patron or a YouTube channel member. If you become a YouTube channel member, you get to use these cool emojis and you get a little badge icon next to your name here on the YouTube chats. Plus, like I said, at the champion level member, we get to meet one-on-one every single month and video chat and just talk about what's going on in your life. The people that I've been doing it with for a while, it's just been, I think, helpful and really awesome for them to kind of like catch up. Hey, what are some of the things you've encountered this month? What are some of the challenges you encountered? Let's walk through them. Let's figure out a game plan, And with these champion level members too, with anyone in the community here and that's a channel member or a patron, I love to kind of just follow up with you guys and see what's going on in your lives. So if you're someone that kind of wants my personal advice, you want to get my perspective on things, or you want me to kind of help coach you a little bit through life, becoming a YouTube channel member or a patron is the best way to do that, guys. All you got to do is hit the little join button down below, and or you can just go to patreon.com/thejoshspeaks. Okay. I want to get into point number 2 here, guys. You guys are here to hear the tips. I want to help you guys with the tips. Unknown Batatron says, Josh, how much it costs? I think the tier levels I have up are set are $1 for the supporter level, $5 for the community level, and $10 for the champion level. So you can just check it out, and it kind of has the perks listed for all those different levels if you're interested. But I think it's, like I said, if you want my personal advice on things, it's the best way to kind of get direct contact with me. Point number 2 here, guys. Thanks again, Josh, for the super chat. Point number 2 here, guys. You don't give them time to miss you. This is something a lot of people do. A lot of mistakes I notice people run into when they're talking to their crush and they end up getting friend zoned is that they try to communicate with their crush as much as possible, as long as possible, almost every single day. Guys, I think that, one of the real issues here is that, you think that the more you talk to your crush, the more you can kind of message them every day and say, hey, how's it going? How's your day? How's everything? The closer you're getting to them. But that's not exactly true. The quantity of messages doesn't dictate the quality of the relationship, right? So just because you're messaging and talking to them every single day doesn't mean that they're actually going to start to see you in a different light. I think that a lot of guys really think about that as like, well, I should be messaging them every day or every other day just to get their attention. But I don't think that's the best way to go about it. I think instead, what I'm saying here is you don't give them time to miss you, is that you have to kind of create a little bit of space between when you're talking to them and when you're not. The reason for that is because you want to add an air of mystery to your conversations with your crush. You want your crush to start to feel like, oh, like, I wonder what he's up to. I wonder how she's doing. I wonder how things are. You want them to kind of message you and find out from you what's happening as well. But if you're always the one messaging them nonstop, they're going to feel like, okay, how much can we actually text and talk about? Like, it's going to become repetitive. It's going to become the same thing over and over. And just like that texting chart I shared a while back, they're going to feel like, okay, is this conversation going somewhere? Is there something happening where like this person likes me or not? Nothing's being established. So you want to create a bit of space there. That creates the tension. That makes them curious about you. Plus, it also gives you a break from focusing only on that one crush. You can focus on other things you want to do, your other hobbies, your other interests, and you're not just becoming obsessed with your crush. I think that if you get into the habit of always messaging your crush, you're going to become obsessed with them, and it's going to make it harder for you to kind of move forward with them. I'll give you a quick little story on that, guys. I had a crush in high school. I did a video on this. This was my worst friend zone experience ever. And with this girl, I would literally call her every single day when I got home from school, and we'd talk on the phone for like 2 hours a day, right? Like every single day we'd do this. And I thought, oh man, she's spending all this time talking to me. We talk every single day. This is awesome. But what I was doing was, because I wasn't advancing that relationship, I wasn't asking her to hang out, I wasn't making a move, I wasn't complimenting her in a romantic kind of way, I wasn't doing anything, I was just talking to her every single day. I was just solidifying more and more the fact that she saw me as just a friend. So I think if you want to get out of this space, you have to create a bit of space. I think that's the best way to go about it. Now, I want to jump in and I want to ask a chat poll question here. Let's get the chat poll set up, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. How often do you talk to your crush? Do you talk to them every single day? Do you talk to them once a week? Do you talk to them once a month? Have you never talked to them before? I want to know how frequently you talk to them. That might be shooting them a text message. That might be commenting on a picture they post. That might be sending them back a Snap story. Anything like that. How often do you communicate with them? Let's see what you guys had to say. Ashes and Roses says, the only girl I love, have ever loved just told me she had a girlfriend 3 hours ago. I'm sorry to hear that, Ashes and Roses. Sometimes these things happen. The person you like ends up getting into a relationship and it kind of throws off your path of wanting to be with them. Azim, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Azim, I really appreciate it, man. Let's pull that up when I hear that fire sound. There we go. Let's go. Azim said, if you're chatting with a group of girls and don't connect with one, can you move on to the two next most attractive girls in the group, or does that give off a player vibe? Interesting. So if you're chatting with a group of girls and there's, let's see, you don't connect with one, can you move to the two next most attractive? I think that if you're talking to a group of girls, no one really knows who you specifically like, right? Like it's not like you're walking up to the group going, you're the one I like, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with flirting with one girl and then talking to another, especially if it's in a group setting. Azim, this is like the story that I was telling about how I went to the bar and I started talking to the groups of friends and I was flirting with one girl and I was flirting with another girl and kind of jumping around back and forth having conversations. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. To the point of does it give off a player vibe? I think that if you're not being honest, right? So like if the girl asks, hey, were you hitting on my friend or something? And you're like, no, I was just talking to her. Then maybe they might be like, all right, this guy's a player, right? I think the key is really honesty. It's like, if you're talking to one friend, talk with the intention of, okay, how are things going? If things aren't going well with that girl, it's okay to talk to the next girl. Like I said, you're approaching this group because you want to see who you connect best with, right? Just because you think you connect best with one person doesn't mean that you're locked to them for the whole night and they're the only one you could talk to or flirt with. You can flirt with anyone. You can talk with anyone. I think it's okay to kind of see where you stand and see who you best connect with. I don't think it makes you a player and you know, unless you're kind of being dishonest and stuff, but I think it's okay. I think it's okay to do that. Yeah, the bells go off literally. Usually they used to go off 9 9, 12, 3, 6, and 9, right? Now they go off like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, like 5 o'clock. They just constantly go off like every 2 hours now. It's insane. But thank you again for the $5 super chat, Nazim. I hope that answer was helpful there. I asked you guys how frequently you talk to your crush. I just want to read some of the answers. Cheesy says every day. Star Wars Nerd says never because I don't got one. Rage Master says once a month. Julio, once a week or maybe once a month. Mohammed says every 3 weeks. Trinity says every day. Dario says I say once a month so far. Ashley says I try to talk to my crush every 2 days. Synchro says never, it's so sad. Nodar says every other day. Haley says every hour. That's a lot. Well, look, you guys are head over heels in love, so talking every hour seems pretty normal. I know some of you guys don't have crushes, aren't pursuing anyone, or don't have any romantic relationships on the horizon, and it's okay. I think that the advice I'm sharing here doesn't have to be like usable in this moment, right? It's not like, oh, well, I don't have a crush, I don't care about getting friend zoned. I think it's important to learn and know so that if you do start to pursue someone, you can kind of avoid these mistakes. Darkest Night says, I'm sick and tired of being alone. Darkest Night, I hear you on that, man. It's hard. Look, you're not the only one here is alone. There's a lot of lonely hearts in here, guys. And, I know that it's difficult, and I know that it's like, I'm just a person here on the internet, like trying to share advice, trying to share stories, trying to listen to people. But so I can't replace a broken heart. I can't replace that feeling of being alone. And, that's not my intention to. But I do want you to know that I understand where you're coming from. I know it's so hard. It really is. It could just be debilitating. It could just bring you down. And I think that what I can offer here, right, the most that I can offer is a deep sense of care for who you are and a sense of community, right? I bring up the community here. Let me quickly pull this up and just share it with you guys too. We have a community. We have a Discord community. I think it's a really awesome place to be. It's a cool place for people to chat and talk to each other, make friends, to talk about their feelings, talk about what's going on in their lives. I would highly recommend checking out the community, guys. Just go to thejoshspeaks.com/Discord. It's just a great place to kind of meet new people and to talk about what's going on in your life. So we just applied for the Discord partnership program. So fingers crossed, hopefully we get in. But I'd love to have you as part of the community, guys. I'd love to hear your story. And we just have great people in there. Some of our mods here that are active here. Now Cheesy's here. I know Haley's here. Dono I saw. I think those were the only ones I noticed that were in here. Scott is in here. They're just all great people. They really care about the community. They really want to help it grow and succeed and just help people out. So I would highly, highly recommend checking it out, guys. Rage Master had also mentioned the Reddit. I'm curious, guys. We'll do a chat poll on that here. Quick chat poll. How many of you guys use Reddit? Right? Yes or no? I want every single person watching to let me know. Do you use Reddit? Yes or no? I want to know. If we get a lot of yeses, then you guys need to check out our Reddit channel. Like, what's going on? You need to check it out. Go check out the Reddit too. Anthony's in here too. All right, I didn't see Anthony in there before. Anthony, good to have you, man. So I'm curious, like I said, answer that question if you can. How many of you guys use Reddit? I want to move on to point number 3 here, guys. And that's going to be this. The third mistake I think a lot of people make that ends up getting them friend zone is that they don't present themselves as high value. Now, what does that mean? What is high value? What does that look like? Well, when I say presenting yourself as high value, tell you what, if you guys want, share the Reddit link in here so that those who do use Reddit can jump on, follow it, and then be active on it, guys. Also, I saw Rage Master shared a poll. If you guys want, you can answer Rage Master's poll. Just at Rage Master in the chat here to respond to his poll. So back to point number 3, you don't present yourself as high value. When I say high value, guys, what I basically mean is this. It's that a high value person is a person who has interest in something, who is passionate about something, who is thinking about what they want to do with their lives, what their path and their purpose is, how can they help others. They're thinking about their community of friends, their family, the people they care about. Darkest Night believes high value is looks, height, race, status, and money, and I really don't think that is either. I think value is prescribed by the impact you can have on someone else's life. The things Darkest Night mentioned aren't things that have an impact on people's life. They can have an impact, but primarily those things don't deeply impact someone's life, right? Like maybe you want to make the argument for money, but okay. But on the deepest level, to me, high value means that a person can see you and really realize that you are someone that's genuine, that's honest, that's real, that's authentic, that's caring, that's compassionate. To me, those present a high value person, because those are the people you really want to have in your life, right? Like you want people that are caring, you want people that are compassionate, you want people that are driven and motivated, right? That's high value, in my opinion. So if your crush doesn't see that you're that kind of person, well, then they're not really going to feel like you're the type of person they want to pursue a relationship with. Like I was saying before, the best relationships are the ones where you can find a partner that wants to grow, that wants to help you, that cares about you, right? So you need to kind of figure out how you can start displaying more of those qualities. This goes back to the first point. If you're too reserved and you're too shy, chances are you don't talk about the things that you like in front of your crush. You don't do the things you like in front of your crush, right? Maybe you love rock climbing. Maybe you love sports, maybe you love gaming, maybe you love something. Like live the life, embrace the things that you care about and talk about them, share them, talk about how passionate you are about certain things. Let your crush see that you're someone that is dedicated to the things that they love, is dedicated to the people that they love and the people that they care about. Those are going to be high value traits that your crush is really going to admire. Now, if you can demonstrate those, then you're really going to stand out from all the other guys, right? Like, let's take Darkest Night's point here. Darkest Night's point was you need looks, height, race, status, money. Let's say you have all those things. I believe that there's a threshold that will take you to where you're at some point going to stop reaching a genuine connection. Where you pass that threshold and actually reach a real genuine connection is when you do all the things that I kind of mentioned. Be a caring person, be a compassionate person, be helpful to your friends, helpful to your family, be patient, be understanding. If you can develop those and showcase that in front of your crush, man, your crush is you're going to stand the hell out from everyone else. Your crush is going to look at you as like, who is this person? Who is this person that like is just so different, is so real? And that's really what you want. You know, Jalen mentioned being an artist is a great trait, and I agree. Like I mentioned in the past, guys, in the past live stream, being creative is such a standout skill. It separates you from so many others because if you're creative and thinking of new ways to do things, you're thinking of innovative ways to be helpful to others, like those are standout skills that not a lot of people have and not a lot of people are exhibiting. So I want to jump into the chat here, guys. I want to hear what some of you guys have to say. Darkest Night said, you can have all those interests and hobbies and still be incel like me and multiple men. Darkest Night, that's true. That's true. The things I'm mentioning don't mean that you won't be an incel, right? You can still end up being an incel while still possessing all those things. What I'm saying is that, look, possessing all the traits in the world, all the best traits in the world, doesn't guarantee that you're going to find a partner. Nothing guarantees you're going to find a partner, right? To some degree, it's a matter of willpower. To some degree, it's a matter of the things we're born with. It's the skills we develop. It's all these factors rolled into one. All right, let me jump in and look at some more questions here. Adam Bodnar says, "Hey Josh, how long does it take you for you to respond on your community member? If you're a community member, you want to ask a personal question? Yeah, Adam. So." If you're someone that joins the community at the community level, the $5 level, what I do is I mark those people, anyone that's community, anyone that's champion level, in Instagram. I mark them with the little flag, and then I move them to my primary folder. So I see your guys' messages like every single day right at the get-go. That's the first folder I check. So if you're the community level, I'm likely going to answer your message pretty quickly. Azim, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate that, Azim. Let's get this rolled up here. Thank you for that, Azim. It really does mean a lot to me. Azim says, you mentioned in the past, the best way to get people to like you is to learn to give without expectations. This is true. How is that different from people pleaser and attention seeker? Also, get to people to come to you to care about your hobbies. I'm assuming you're asking, how do you get people to care about your hobbies? Hey, Synchro Legend, your birthday's next week. If you join our Discord, you will get a happy birthday notification. So join the Discord. You'll get that notification, man. So let me answer Azim's questions here. So the difference I would say between an attention seeker and giving without expectations is I think kind of in evident in of itself. To me, being an attention seeker means that you are thinking about what other people want and what their best interests are, and you're trying to get them to approve of you, right? So you may do things outside of your comfort zone for their benefit. You may give things up without really wanting to for their benefit, all with the hope that they're going to like you, that they're going to care about you, that they're going to want to be around you. Now, to me, when you give without expectation, I believe you're coming from the deepest part of who you are, the most grounded part of who you are, because to not have expectation when you give is to kind of give with this generosity, to give with this loving kindness, to give with this sense of, I just want to offer help. I just want to be there for someone else. I don't expect them to turn around and make me feel good, feed my ego, right? Like you can give to someone and they may not be in a place where they're aware of that and they may not respond in a kind way, right? Like I've given to people and I've helped people that they've never even said thank you before. Or here's an example. I had a friend that I helped out for about a month because they didn't have a place to live. I helped them out and everything, and then at the end of the month, they kind of got upset when I told them, "Hey, look, you kind of have to move out. I can help you find a new place. Let's figure this out." They got upset with me, right? So people, I think, may not always appreciate the help that you give, but I think that you should still aim to give without expectations if you realize that what you're aiming to give is going to be helpful and you're doing it from the deepest sense of who you are, not because you want them to say thank you, not because you want them to do something for you. So that's what I would recommend. Adam, thank you so much for becoming a community member. Adam, I really appreciate it. Happy to have you on board. You should be popping up here in a second on this thing. That's awesome, Adam. Just to fill you in too, every month I also do a group video chat call with all the community members. So you're invited to the community group call. I'll probably do it sometime in the middle of the month. And it's just really cool. We just get people in together from Patreon, from YouTube, some people from the Discord, and we all just kind of chat and catch up for the month, see what's going on in our lives and stuff. I think it's a cool little community that we have developed there. But thank you for becoming a community member, Adam. If you want, if you're on Instagram or by email, whatever the best way is for you to contact me, shoot me a message. I'm at the Josh Speaks on everything. Let me know, hey, Adam, say, hey, Josh, I'm Adam from the community. I just joined and stuff, so I can reach out to you, so I can add you on that primary little flagged, list, so I can respond to your DMs. Thank you for joining, Adam. I truly, truly appreciate having you as a community member. Okay. Man, I forgot what point I was on. I think it was on 3 or 4. Let's check it out, guys. Oh, I was on point 3. Let's get to point 4. Point 4 is this, guys. You hold back how you truly feel. Now, this is going to kind of tie to what Azim was saying before. When I say you hold back how you truly feel, I'm going to get, Azim, I'm going to get to your question in a minute here. When I say you hold back how you truly feel, I don't mean just outright confessing your feelings to your crush. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you hold back flirting with them. You hold back asking them out. You hold back complimenting them. You hold back doing more romantic type of things that is going to either let you know that they like you or let you know that they don't like you. This is what a lot of people do. They hold back how they feel, and what they do is this, guys. Guys, this is the major mistake I see a lot of guys in the friend zone make. Tell me if this sounds familiar to you. Either you know someone who's done it, or maybe you've done it yourself, or you've heard of people doing this. A guy likes a girl. He doesn't really tell her how he feels. He kind of keeps his feelings to himself. He's very reserved. Meanwhile, the girl is like, okay, this guy's cool. He's my friend. I can talk to him. I can open up to him. All the while, the guy deep down inside really, really likes this girl, but he's too afraid to tell her. And every single time he wants to tell her, he just pulls himself back. And time passes, and they just talk more, and they connect more. And then at some point, he decides, you know what? I'm just going to confess my feelings to my crush. I'm just going to tell him that I like him and that I want to be with him. Just outright confess my feelings. So the guy does that, confesses his feelings. The girl turns around shocked and goes, whoa, what? I thought we were just friends. I really only see you as a friend. I thought that this was just a friendship. You never gave any indication. You never let me know. This is kind of shocking and weird to me. Then the guy hears that, and because now he's just taken this big step of confessing his feelings, and it wasn't reciprocated and he got rejected, he gets angry. He gets angry, gets pissed at the girl, yells at her, curses with her, doesn't want anything to do with her, because he's just so angry with her that she didn't feel the same way. I was that guy in high school. I know lots of guys who've been in that situation because They bottle up their feelings and then just unload them all at once rather than making small indicators of interest along the way. Those small indicators of interest is going to let you know whether or not you should keep pursuing that person or just give up, right? Those small indicators are complimenting them and seeing how they respond. Like asking them out on a one-on-one date, seeing how they respond. Maybe going for a move, for a kiss, or whatever it may be. Doing these little steps, guys, is what's going to separate you from those guys who just bottle it all up and then throw it all at their crush. Plus, you're going to increase the chances of you potentially going somewhere with them, and you're going to reduce the chances of you getting hurt by them because you're going to do it earlier on rather than after you've committed so much time to it. But that's what I would really realistically say, guys. When I say that, you bottle up your emotions and you don't confess your feelings to them, what I mean is not telling them how you feel, but showing them how you feel. This is where a lot of people get this wrong. I'm a big believer in showing a person how you feel. Telling them how you feel is just saying, hey, I like you. And then that's it. And waiting, hoping that they feel the same way, hoping that they respond the same way, right? But you haven't done anything to demonstrate that like. You haven't done anything to create an attractive atmosphere where they want to get closer to you, where they want to talk to you. So I'm a big believer in focusing on creating that atmosphere with them. And you only do that by taking those small steps. Now, I want to jump in and see what some of you guys are saying. Jack Stevenson says, that is me in a nutshell. Jack, it's a lot of us. It was me when I was younger too. I did the exact same thing. Like I was too afraid. And then when I did finally do it, it was this big confession. I wrote a letter to the girl and everything. It just, these things happen, Just reading through some of the chat here. Jack says, everything except the cursing describes me perfectly. Yeah, look, I'm not saying you have to flip out on the girl, but you may just get upset with yourself. You may just beat yourself down and be like, that sucks. I'm so angry. Not saying you always have to flip out on the person, but there's an anger that comes from that rejection because it didn't go the way that you wanted it to. Cheesy says, hey Josh, don't normally ask for advice, but just a quick one here. I want to have sex with my partner, but it seems weird with COVID. Any advice? Yeah, that's a good question, Cheesy. I think a lot of people are hesitant to have kind of romantic relations of any kind, hugging, kissing, things like that with their partner during these COVID times. I mean, I guess ultimately the best thing that you can do is if you I would say the best format, the best way to go about this would probably be if you want, go get tested for COVID, right? Make sure you don't have it. Make sure your partner doesn't have it. That'll relieve some of the mental pressure, right? Because then you'll know, okay, we're not, it'll be fine. If you are going to meet up with them, try, for both of you, try to not do a lot of things outside. Try to socially distance, try to wear masks, try to wash your hands, and your normal everyday routines. That way it's you will decrease the chances of potentially passing anything to them. Look, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be intimate and even being intimate with a partner now during COVID, especially if they live kind of far away and you got to travel to them. But you got to take those precautions. You got to do those first steps to kind of, I think, give yourself more peace of mind to make sure nothing bad happens, because that would not be good. I want to jump in here and answer one or two more questions here. I know Azim had asked the question here. So Azim said, so what if you approach one woman, she says no, she sees you approaching more and more women to try to talk to getting to leading to get a number. Also, how to not get a girl's number at a pity. Sorry. Yeah, Azim, this is something we were talking about before. If a girl you talk to isn't interested and she sees you talking to someone else, she might think wow, he's a player or whatever. But you're not pursuing that girl anymore. So you have to kind of, I guess, let go of this fear of people's image of you because you're going out and talking to these girls with a purpose, right? And the purpose is you want to find someone that you connect with, find someone that you can get to know, find someone that you like. If the first girl you talked to wasn't that person, then okay, then you move on, you talk to other people. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a totally normal human thing to do. Mason says, when are you going live on Instagram? I'm probably going to go live maybe in 10 minutes or so. I try to keep these streams at around an hour. Right now we're about 48 minutes on the stream, so I'll probably go till the hour mark. So that's what I would say, Azim. And to also to your point about how to not get a girl's number at a pity. There isn't a lot that you can do. I mean, I guess the best thing that you can probably do is to try to, like I said earlier to you today, it's like try to aim to form some type of connection, try to learn as much as you can and find something that the two of you can deeply connect over. If you can find that thing, then most likely when they give you their number, they're going to do it because they think you're interesting. Or another thing is that you come off with such a level of confidence that they're intrigued and interested in you and they want to give you their number because they really do want to follow up with you. I think that a girl might give you her number out of pity, like I said before, because maybe she's too nervous to say no. Or maybe she'll give it to you because she does feel bad. Like, oh, you know, like he asked me out. He was a bit confident. I'll give him my number, see where it goes. I think ultimately it isn't, oh, you got the number out of pity. That's a bad thing. I think it's how you, like you were saying before, it's how you follow up. It's what you do with it and how you build up everything prior to it. Okay, let's get into point number 5 here, guys. We're talking about 5 mistakes you might make that's going to get you friend zoned and things that you need to stop doing here, guys. Let's jump in and see what the 5th one is. And that's going to be this. You settle for the friend zone again and again. Guys, I really want to I want to go hard into this point here. Let me get a sip of water. When I say you settle for the friend zone again and again, what I'm saying is basically this. You like someone, they know you like them, you've pursued them, they've told you they see you as just friends, and yet you agreed to just stay friends despite you still liking them, despite you still wanting to date them, despite the fact that you know that if you try again, they're going to tell you the same answer. So many guys make this mistake because there is a comfort and a safety in being friend zoned even if you don't want to be there. Even if you don't want to just be friends with that girl, the fact that they're talking to you, the fact that they acknowledge you, the fact that they respond to your messages might feel like reason enough to stay with them. But I think it's a bad move. I think it's not the best thing to do, guys. I think that if you're staying stuck in that friend zone, if you are allowing yourself to keep getting put there every single time you confess your feelings, every single time you ask them out, they just keep saying, no, we're just friends. No, I only see you as a friend. No, you're like a brother to me. You keep getting all these type of responses, but you just stay there and you keep putting yourself there, guys. You're never going to be able to escape it. You're never going to be able to break free. You're probably going to end up actually being more obsessed with that girl because you're going to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, even though she just sees you as a friend. Ashes and Roses says, is it settling for the friend zone if you want to be friends with your crush for a while before dating? This is an important question. Super, super important question, guys. I'm a big believer that you should aim to be friends before you date. But let's talk about what that friendship looks like. The friendship that you should develop, I believe, with a person that you like, I think it's slightly different than the type of friendship you develop with a friend that you just want to be friends with. The person that you like, the friendship should be with the aim of looking for things you have in common and working towards spending one-on-one time with them with the purpose of building a romantic relationship, right? So whereas with a normal friend that you just want to be friends with, you might ask them to hang out, you might go to spend time together as a group, you might just text them every once in a while, no big deal. But if it's a person that you like, I think it's important to follow up with them, to dive deeper into what you guys have in common, to flirt with them, to joke around with them, all of that while being friends with them. Right? Because you're not just trying to develop a pure platonic friendship. You're trying to develop a friendship that shows, hey, look, I enjoy hanging out with this person. We have a good time together. We're close, we're friends, but they're fun, they're interesting, they're exciting, they're flirty. They carry all these extra things that happen as well. Azim says, weren't you in the friend zone before you dated your wife? Technically, I wouldn't really say I was in the friend zone because when we were originally friends, it wasn't like I was actively trying to pursue her and then she kind of shot me down, right? It was just we were kind of casual friends and we weren't, we just would talk every so often. And then eventually we started to hang out and it built from there. But I never felt like I was in the friend zone there, whereas other times it felt obvious to me that I was in the friend zone. But yeah, I think that you can develop a friendship with someone, talk to them, hang out with them every so often while still pursuing other people, while still flirting with other people, and then lead that into a relationship. But like I said, if you find yourself constantly getting thrown into the friend zone again and again and again every time with the same person, because maybe Today you confessed your feelings and you think to yourself, okay, well, maybe in a month, maybe things will be different. Let me confess my feelings then. And they still tell you you're just a friend. And they still tell you you're just a friend. You end up kind of putting yourself deeper and deeper into that hole where you won't ever escape it. And I want you guys to escape. I want you guys to actively pursue people that you like and people that you feel you can develop a real relationship with, not feeling like you're stuck in a place where there isn't anything you can do, that this is just how they see you and that's that. So I want to do a chat poll here, guys. I want to ask you this, guys, because I'm really curious on your answers. I want every single person watching right now. I see how many people are watching. I want every single person watching to answer this question. I want to know what you guys think. I want to think how I want to phrase this question. How long do you see yourself pursuing your crush before you ask them out? How long do you see yourself pursuing your crush before you ask them out? Let me explain what that means, or what I mean by that, rather. What I mean by that is, do you intend to talk to your crush and be friends with them for a year before you ask them out? Do you plan on talking for just a month before you ask them out? Are you going to ask them out tomorrow? How long are you planning on talking to them and just being friends before you decide to ask them out? I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see. Double A Twins says, I just broke up with my girlfriend, but it was for a good reason. What was the reason? What was the reason? I don't know if you guys have seen that Cardi B interview. Jake says, I really liked my best friend for 2 years. I put everything into this friendship, yet I still don't know if I should ask her out since we care so much about our friendship. Thoughts? Jake, that's a really good point. I think that if you put everything into the friendship, it's going to be hard to make that transition to being in a relationship, right? Because you and that person see each other in a certain kind of way. You see each other in a way where it's like, hey, this is a person I can open up to. I know that they're not going to try to hit on me. I know that they're not going to try to make a move on me. So you've created that environment. If you want to change that, you want to perhaps move into a more romantic kind of setting with them, you might need to create a bit of space. You might need to spend a little bit less time interacting with them. Give yourself time to focus on other things, pursue other people for a while, and then come back to them. That's what I would really recommend. Let's see what you guys said here. I said, how long do you see yourself pursuing your crush before you ask them out? Grayest said like maybe a year. Let's see. Double A Twin says 3 weeks if I know if she likes me back. 3 weeks. Muhammad says 1 year. Double A Twin says 3 weeks. Jake Rivera says 3 weeks or a month. Alex Burns says never. Why never, Alex? I'm curious. Nodar says, am I pronouncing that wrong? I feel like there's a way to pronounce it. No DR12. What am I not? Maybe the DR12. Maybe I'm not saying that right. Just enough to get to know them. So maybe 3 months. Okay. Synchro says, I try to see how they follow along with me. Dr. LeVar says, I think it's got to be no more than a month or you are immediately placed in the friend category. That might be true. Yeah, Doc Tar says maybe 4 months. No, not 4 days like my previous crush. Synchro says, so it depends. Kermit the Frog here says, 2 years because I moved from them. I hear you on that. Darkest Night says, learn about the black pill. Yeah, Ashland, if you want, I've made videos on the black pill if you're interested in kind of getting my perspective on it. So I would say, yeah, check out my videos, learn about the black pill. There's other YouTube videos as well. Muhammad says, it depends. I think that you get to know them first and be supportive with everything that they're interested in. That's it. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Okay. No DR12. Is it no 3 or no as an NOE? Like no DR12. No DR12? Am I saying it right? Is there something I'm missing? Okay, let's see what else you guys said here. Mason said, my crush already rejecting me. I'm sorry to hear that, Mason. What happened? Jack Stevens says, it really depends on the person. Sometimes a year, sometimes around a month or 2. Yeah, I hear you on that. Let's see. Ashes and Roses says maybe 7 months. Okay. Yeah, guys. So there's a bunch of varied answers in there. And I think ultimately the key here is this. It's that whatever time frame you feel works best for you, try to cut that down a little bit, right? If you tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to give them a month, try to cut it down to 3 weeks. If you give yourself a year, try to cut it down to like 8 months, right? try to push yourself a little bit more. Try to step a little bit more outside of that comfort zone to pursue them and to ask them out. Because I don't want you guys to get friend zone here. I want you to pursue the person that you like. So let's go through these 5 points again here, guys. Let's just review them for those that may have jumped on late and just to give you a quick refresh of what we're talking about here. We're sharing 5 mistakes that you make that get you friend zoned, and these are things you need to stop doing. Number 1, you act too reserved around them. Guys, if you are too nervous to be yourself around your crush, if you're too nervous to speak your mind and to ask questions and to laugh and make jokes, and instead you find it easier to just be quiet around them, to not share your opinion, to not rock the boat, well, then they're just never really going to see you as anything more than just a friend, right? You're not establishing yourself or showcasing anything that would make you stand out in their eyes. So take note of that. Take note of how you interact with them and how you act around them as well. Number 2 is this. You don't give them time to miss you. A lot of people do this, guys, where they talk every single day nonstop to their crush thinking it's actually helping when it might actually be hurting. You want to give a little bit of space because that creates mystery. That makes your crush think, well, what's this person up to? I haven't talked to them in a while. Let me catch up with them. That's what I think that you guys really need to focus on doing. You need to focus on giving them some space, even pursuing other people in the meantime, so that you don't get so hung up and obsessed with that one crush. Guys, you don't want to develop one-itis here. You want to get past it, and you want to see, is this person the kind of person that I can pursue? And should I also be pursuing other people? My answer is yes. Number 3 is this. You don't present yourself as high value. A lot of people have different perspectives on what high value is. Darkest Night believes it's looks, money, status, race, and height. I personally believe being a high value person is the value in which you carry in your day-to-day life and how you help and care for others. So to me, being high value is simply being a caring person, a kind, compassionate person, a person who's a leader, a person who looks out for others, a person who has hobbies and interests and is pursuing their goals and their passions in life. If your crush can see that you are about that life, that you are someone that has a dream and a goal and you want to accomplish and achieve something, that's super attractive. That shows them that you have your eye on the prize here. And if you're just someone who mopes around, doesn't really have any direction, doesn't know what they want to do, well, then your crush is going to feel like, why would I want to get closer to this person if I feel like they're not going to bring the best out of me, right? You want to bring the best out of your crush, and you want your crush to bring the best out of you. So you need to bring your A game when you talk to them. Number 4 is this. You hold back how you truly feel. A lot of times people hold back their feelings and then it bundles up and then they just unload it only to kind of make things worse, only to kind of just confess their feelings to their crush in just this gigantic display of affection to push their crush away. Instead, everything is small steps, guys. Take small steps to talk to your crush, to get to know them, ask them out, flirt with them, compliment them. Do these in little steps here and there. The more you kind of start to show how you feel, it's not going to then be such a gigantic, confusing plot twist when you tell them that you do like them. They're going to be like, oh, I figured you like me because you asked me out. I figured you like me because you compliment me and you flirt with me and you made a move on me. So you want to really try to, it has a 3 after the no. No 3DR12. No 3DR12. I don't know. I can't say it right. Anyway, so guys, like I said, holding back your feelings isn't just outright confessing it. It's showing them how you feel. I think that's the key here. That's what you need to focus on. And number 5 is you settle for the friend zone again and again. A lot of people know they're in the friend zone with their crush and they just stay there despite not wanting to be there. Despite wanting to have more with their crush, they end up preferring to have their crush in their life, even if it makes them feel bad, even if it hurts their feelings, even if it makes them feel like, well, maybe one day I can be with them. They'll stay in that hurtful place. And this is what people do all the time. It's hard to change. It's hard to grow. It's hard to step outside of your comfort zone, guys. But that's what this is all about. It's all about stepping outside your comfort zone. Look, I want to now lead us into our mindful moment, guys. The biggest part about escaping the friend zone, about leaving that friend zone life behind, is to step out of your comfort zone. It can be scary. It could be hard. You may have major setbacks, but I promise you, if you keep at it, if you keep practicing, you'll start to develop that inner confidence where Your sense of worth, your sense of being won't be determined by your crush, won't be determined by your success with your crush. It'll simply be determined by you being proud of yourself for trying. So I have my bell here, guys. You guys know this is our mindful moment. What I like to do is I like to take 10 seconds, just 10 seconds for every single person here watching the stream to close their eyes and to just think about the things we talked about in this live stream. Let's reflect on the points we talked about. Let's reflect on escaping the friend zone here. So let's close our eyes, guys, and take 10 seconds to do this together. Every single person watching, I want you to do this too. Let's close our eyes and let's think. I want you to know that you have the courage inside of you, and that it's important to step out of your comfort zone. And moving forward from this point on, you have what it takes to be somebody great, and you will do it. You will step out of the comfort zone, guys. I believe in you. Let's close our eyes. Let's take a breath. Thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this live stream. This was a lot of fun. I'm happy to jump back on after that 1 week hiatus there. I really appreciate having you guys as part of the community. Like I said, if you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this button. Now, for anyone watching the replay, what I want you to do is check out the videos listed over there. I'm going to go deeper into escaping the friend zone, how to kind of deal with rejection, how to move on from your life and not allow rejection and being in the friend zone to define you. Thank you guys again. Head on over to Instagram. I forgot to mention this. Let's everyone join the Instagram after party. Go follow me over on Instagram, the Josh Speaks. You can jump on. We can video chat. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys again for being a part of the live stream. Adam, thank you for DMing me, man. We'll talk. And I will catch you guys over on Instagram. As always, love and peace. See you guys there.